Hey, what's up, guys? I'm joined here with Murdoc Defi. Welcome, man.
What's up, man?
So this is the first time we've actually met,
Yep.
and but we decided this past week it was important to get together. I think you drove, what, an hour and a half?
It was just about 2 hours, actually.
Yeah, to come over, and we've just spent the last couple hours asking the single question, how can we make this space better? We can't make it perfect. We can't fix what's happened in the past. But if there's solvable problems, if there's things that we can actually do to promote more transparency amongst developers and realizing the fact that as YouTube influencers, even though we hate that term, is there a way that we can be more responsible? Is there a way that we can do things differently? And so Murdoc came with his ideas. I've come with mine. And the reason why we're doing this video is to let you know we're working on drafting up like a document that we can really move and put in the hands of all the other YouTubers you watch. In fact, you will have access to this document and you can pressure them if you'd like, or just invite them. I don't think you need to pressure. I think just a basic invitation. We're planning on hoping to get a bunch of YouTubers to sign this. And going forward, it's going to be very, very hard for non-doxed, non-KYC developers to utilize our platform. So what do you think?
Yeah, and I think for myself and for a couple other people, Jonathan, I think we've kind of realized that as YouTubers as a whole kind of do have some responsibility in making sure that we're able to bring projects on that are legitimate. And obviously that perfection is rather hard in the space. But I think that we can hold ourselves to a higher standard. And kind of like you said, one of the things that we've been doing is kind of brainstorming on different ways. And hopefully, like I've mentioned this before, is hopefully trying to create a united front with multiple other YouTubers. That way we can mitigate a lot of these developers that have nefarious intentions to not give them a platform or exposure to any project that they're offering either now or in the future, right?
Yeah, I mean, the last couple of days have been really hard for me on a personal level. Obviously, I haven't made any content. The last video I made was just me talking about how devastated I was to think that someone, a scammer, used my platform to raise funds for a scam.
Yeah.
Now, obviously, had I known he was a scammer and I invited him on, that I would be just as complicit in that. That's wrong. Obviously, I didn't. I would never do that. Murdoc would never do that. We've never knowingly knew someone was about to do something bad and brought them on our channel and thought this will be fun because there's no upside for that on that. If anything, it's just a bunch of people that want to attack the messenger.
Yeah.
And I understand that feeling, like, because we're the faces you guys see. And so it's easy to be like, I heard about the project through you, so I want to go after you, kill the messenger mentality.
Yep.
But the problem is we've never rugged. No one has. The attention should be on these scam artists. Now, the last one I want to talk about is Circulate Money. We've both were in conversation with quote unquote James. We can almost guarantee that's probably not his name. Who's from Canada, probably most likely not from Canada. His story was so convincing. Even Murdoc and I exchanging messages from him, and I don't think there was anyone in our sphere that wasn't convinced what he was doing was legitimate, and we were just blown away by that. So how are you dealing with that? Like, it just sucks.
Well, I mean, it does suck, right? And you're absolutely right. Like, and I totally get that it's easy to want to point fingers at the person whom you heard the project through, right? But even myself, like, I'm somebody that prides myself on being able to have a BS meter, and he completely flew under the radar there. And but it is what it is. It's something that's happened, and all we can do now is try to be better and do better, not only for the content we put out, but for everybody, right?
It was funny because another fellow YouTuber did a video, and I've seen a lot of them. I don't typically watch a lot of fellow YouTubers. I just kind of focus in on what I'm doing, but they did a video saying no more faceless AMAs.
Yeah.
But so let me address this. They also came down and made it sound like KYCs just don't matter, because the argument is, hey, even with a KYC, people can rug. For example, look at FTX, look at Celsius, Look, Sam Bankman-Fried. But the problem with that argument is it's self-defeating, and I want you to understand that, because the difference with FTX is we have a name and we have someone that's in jail right now.
Right.
They're being prosecuted, okay? With Circulate, we don't have a name, we have a voice. That's it. We don't have IP address. We don't have who he was, his business, any of that. And yet he's ran off with our money. We're the idiots, okay? So asking ourselves, like, how can we fix that? Well, just saying a simple KYC will fix that, I think, is pretty naive. There are so many illegitimate KYC companies, because the way this business works is provide a dev with quote unquote a KYC, and he now will get access to a bunch of influencers. Well, Murdoc DeFi isn't stupid. I'm not stupid. We're going to create a term, and you're going to see it in this document, that's basically going to be a thorough KYC, a TKYC. And if companies don't have that, and they expect to have an AMA on either Murdoc channel or my channel, it's not going to happen.
Right.
And so that's just something that we're working on, and we're going to invite other YouTubers to participate in that, because if we can kind of build a wall from all the mischievous characters out there, where they don't have a microphone, we can't platform them. We don't want to give platform to bad actors. If someone really has bad intentions, we don't want anything to do with that.
Right.
In saying that, we also want YouTubers to be allowed to document their journey. If it's a gamble play, or I like to use the term a rug play, YouTubers should be allowed with their own capital to do whatever they want. It'd be like stopping someone from going into a casino. How silly would that be? They're adults. They're allowed to go into a casino as long as they know the risks, right? Imagine someone going into a casino hearing that these slot machines are ATM machines. That'd be misleading. There's high risk when you sit at a slot machine. In fact, it's very rare that you leave making money. So we discussed that and said, look, we don't want to create a document where now YouTubers can't cover gamble plays. They should be allowed to do that. And but the difference is they should know that it's a gamble play.
Right.
And so we want to be united on creating language that says this is a gamble play.
And I think one of the projects that we were specifically talking about was PGV, right? Like, I've talked about that. I've talked about that protocol and Manny a whole bunch of times on my channel. He's never paid me. I've never talked to the guy or anything. And it's still inherently a very, very risky project. But like that's still something that I would like to continue to update people on news, which is like what I have been doing. But when we talk about like doing AMAs with new protocols that haven't been around and things like that, I think that's what we're kind of trying to talk about. And to kind of piggyback off your point, when we're talking about AMAs, another very, in my opinion, lazy excuse that we are enabling developers are with is the fact that if we're saying, oh, well, we've been rugged, or you've been rugged by protocols that have had a KYC and nothing happens. Now developers are using that as an excuse to not even have to worry about getting a KYC done. They just chalk it up to, well, you've been rugged by a project before. And that's what the other YouTuber was talking about, right? So like, it's just, in my opinion, such a lazy excuse.
But remember, a lot of those KYCs were illegitimate.
Right.
For instance, Rely Fund, that KYC, it wasn't legitimate. I think I brought that up, and I've demanded since then that they KYC. Brandon has messaged me and said he doesn't want to dox, family reasons. So again, this is all part of a document. You guys will have access to it. The standard for us will be, if you want an AMA, you either have to be doxed, so I've got to know your name and you got to show your face, or you have to be TKYC'd. A thorough KYC has to be done on who you are, your development team. And what a thorough KYC includes is actually a wallet transfer. This is why I love Truth Seekers, because they do this. I actually spent, I spent over an hour yesterday talking with the lead developer at Truth Seekers about their process for a KYC. Why is what they do superior to some of these other flash up KYC companies? And I talked with Robert over there. His incredible knowledge in the space, the access to databases. He's worked on a lot of different international security projects. It's he's incredible. So until I find another company like that, I can't recommend it. Now, some of you will say, aren't you an affiliate with them? So I was, correct. And I disclosed that. But I actually contacted Lou, who's kind of CEO of True Seekers. He's a friend. And I said, bro, I don't want any more affiliates as it pertains to commissions for that. Murdoc's the same way. So we're not getting paid from True Seekers if we tell a company you should go get a thorough KYC. Right. It's just not happening. So I'm removing all biases there. The only thing I can tell you is KYC or a TKYC was approached to True Seekers from Stable Fund. They turned it down. Alpha Capital tried to do a KYC with True Seekers with Robert, and he turned it down. They saw fraudulent banking records. His team looked into that. They turned it down. And so that to me shows credibility.
Right.
And because again, all these KYC companies that just keep getting paid, right. Here's your KYC, that didn't happen with True Seekers. So I appreciate that and I celebrate that. And it's sad because with Alpha Capital, right. Everybody got upset with Lou because he came in a chat and he was mad and he used an F-bomb. It's like, we got our attention on the wrong thing, idiots.
Right. That's
like,
exactly what I was just going to say. It's like, well then, how do you as the influencer that is trying to go and have these companies do certain things is then looked or like frowned upon in like specific communities for that project when they don't do something, and it's just like, oh well, now you're just trying to bully people into getting a KYC done, or you have ulterior motives because you get paid, whatever, right? Like,
I'm removing the payment element. There's no upside for me.
Right.
The upside is you. Like Murdoc and I, we just discussed, we are on team investor, not team developer.
100%.
And anytime you see a chat where someone is saying KYCs don't matter, that's illegitimate, you can still rug, it's either a bot farm, it's someone that the company has paid to be a fake person in their chat to spread misinformation, or it's someone that's just flat out uneducated. And it was sad for me to see a major YouTuber talk about how KYCs don't matter. He is feeding into the developers' lies. That is absolutely wrong. If you do a thorough KYC, it does matter. Because right now with Circulate, we would have a name, we'd have government documentation, we would have address, we would know exactly that it was his wallet, we could prove that to authorities. At the end of a KYC, I asked Robert this from True Secret, I said, what happens if something bad goes down? He's like, we don't defamate them. We move that information to the hands of the local authorities, and they deal with it. And I'm like, that's freaking so professional. It's so legit, and I love it. And I'm all about it. I'm doubling down on it, guys. And anyone that wants to fight me on this you got to be legitimate, because a lot of people just want to come on the channel to flash their thing. Let's have a conversation, because I'm like, where's the blind spot here? And I think the blind spot, and I can own that, was the fact that if I was getting a commission, then it became about, well, he's getting a commission. Right. So I've removed that, and I actually told Lou, remove all your affiliate commissions if you have any with anyone else. And I think he's going to do that because we don't care about that. Right. We're so sick of freaking rug pulls. We're so sick of these scammers. There's got to be something that, and a TKYC doesn't mean that the company that does it is promoting the project, and it doesn't mean that it's a sign that this will be successful.
Or endorsing, right?
Yeah, but it means that it's 2 steps forward toward transparency. Wouldn't you rather those 2 steps forward toward transparency than not have them? Like, argue that. So, again, I'm not responsible for rug pulling, neither is Murdoc, but we do have platforms, and we can decide who gets an AMA, who doesn't. This will be our filter system.
Right. Now we have a criteria.
We have a criteria, and I guess we never had that, and it's going to be awesome, guys. We're going to publicly show you, like, hey, here's all the YouTubers that made the pledge. Right. So these are the guys you should subscribe to. All the other ones that didn't, like, it's up to you. We're not going to bully anybody, but, like, come on. Why wouldn't you get behind this type of working document?
And that's exactly the message that we intend on sending, is that, look, if you're another YouTuber and you're not doing these types of things, okay, well, now everybody knows, right? Everybody knows what's going on. So like you said, we're going to publish the list of, and there's already a bunch of them. There's already a bunch of YouTubers that are tired of it as well. They're tired of losing money as well, just like we are, that are on board. So we're going to publish the list of people that agree to these terms that we're putting out as far as like our quote unquote SOPs for moving forward when it comes to dealing with projects. So
it's funny because just the other day I got offered, because they've watched our channels and they saw, like, wow, if I get on Jonathan's channel, maybe I could raise $2.4 million in 48 hours. Oh, but Jonathan now wants a KYC. Okay. You know what happened? Company provides me a KYC yesterday, offers me $10,000 to do the AMA. Now, if I cared just about money and not you guys, because I don't know you guys, who I would just take the money and bring them on the channel. But now with this document, guess what? They have a KYC, but it's not a TKYC.
Right.
So guess what? They don't get exposure. Now they're going to go to Murdoc. Murdoc's going to be like, wow, I'm going to get 10K. What do I do with that? Right. That's a nice... He going to say, no, I made a pledge.
Where's that KYC?
Where's the TKYC, baby?
Yep.
And we have to do this, guys, across the board. Now, with that said, other companies can apply to be on our list of TKYCs. Right now, it's truth seekers, but there can be others in the future. But you've got to hit up Murdoc, myself, and talk about the process. What do you guys do? What makes yours superior? If you're not doing wallet transactions, if you're not providing requiring them government IDs and utility bills, and you have a background in this, I don't know. I don't know if I trust your company at this point. So be very careful, guys. Just because a company says they're KYC'd, look into the company. When did they start? All of that's important. I want to use this last part of this video before we wrap up to talk about, does this mean going forward, we're not going to talk about all these other projects? That's been something we've discussed where we don't want to stop talking about these gamble plays. Believe it or not, like sometimes you do well, even if it's like a Ponzonomic type project. Right. And it's not just referrals. I understand that YouTubers have a leg up because the referrals, any commissions they get, it kind of reduces their capital risk, right? We know that. You know that. You can go start a YouTube channel too, like we did a year ago. Right. But at the end of the day, we still have our risk capital. Like you lost 5K, was it, in Circulate?
I lost 5K in Alpha Capital, and then I lost 10K in Circulate.
Like in that, so you made money from referrals,
right? Not really, because they were being paid out on when people were claiming. So
it's
not true.
It's not true. We all get screwed, and that's the requirement. Is that, hey, if we're gonna bring a project on our channel, even if it's a rug play, gamble play, in the document it discloses that we have to label it that. So let's say X company reaches out to us and says, hey, can you do a sponsored video? Sure. Are you KYC, TKYC? They say no. I was like, okay. Well, if we do a sponsored video, it will be underneath the umbrella of this is a gamble play or a rug play. And they go, we don't like that. Okay, then take your money back. You're not getting on the channel. If they agree with that, then you as the viewer are going to be notified. It's a sponsored video. This is a gamble rug play, high risk. And I think that's fair because you want YouTubers to be able to cover whatever they want. Like there's people that cover their gambling journey and doing online slot machines.
Well, Jonathan, think about this is like, conversely, it's if we're only talking about projects that are KYC'd, how many times are you going to post a week? How much content can you put out there?
Right.
So that also begs another question. As DeFi YouTubers, like this is what we do. We talk about projects in DeFi. I'm sure there are things that we could do to like try to mitigate things from happening. That's our plan moving forward. But yeah, like at the end of the day, we talk about DeFi. We talk about what we're doing in DeFi, our journey, all that stuff, right? So
yeah, and it's important to clarify when you see people say these guys promote projects, we don't promote them. Okay? There's a difference between covering our journey, covering what we're doing, and promoting. We make sure, at least I know I do, Murdoc does, to never say, guys, we think this is going to be a great thing. We think this is going to, we always say this could happen. It might not. I always emphasize the risk, downplay the hype of it all. If you find a YouTuber that all they do is just overemphasize the upside and never mention the other half about all the risk, that might be someone you need to unsubscribe to because it's you're being deceptive. And I think a modern scammer isn't in what they say, it's in what they leave out. So watch for what they leave out and vote with your feet. You don't have to subscribe or watch that person's content. I think you guys are here, and I appreciate you being here in Murdoc's channel. We're going to have this video up because you get the sense that we aren't in it for the money. I showed Murdoc 10 minutes ago another offer that came in. He shows me offers. This week alone, probably just $60,000 in offers came in. I'm not using them because, if anything, I said, Murdoc, get your butt over here. We're going to meet. We're going to discuss this. I talked with James Pelton. He's all about this too. I talked with Crypto Andy.
Yeah.
I mean, I can't wait to just tell everyone like these are great people in the space. And so instead of sitting back and letting Circulate Money and Alpha Capital and all this crap happen and go, well, nothing we can do, I don't know if I think there is something we can do.
Yeah.
I've read a lot of your comments. I've heard the frustration, anger, and now I'm responding. And that's the type of guys, hopefully, you can see that we are. We're not in this just to make a buck, make a referral link. You guys will vote with your subscription, and I think in time, this will be the right play for all of DeFi to make it more transparent, more safer.
Yeah, 100%. And I think that, I mean, and I kind of hate to say this, but I think it was almost like what is the events that have transpired over the last, I don't know, 72 hours. It was almost like it was necessary for everybody to kind of get on the same page. And I mean, to be honest, it sucks that that's what it has to take to be a catalyst for this type of change. But here we are, and that's why we're putting this plan out moving forward.
So if I go to Murdoc's channel and he's covering some sketch play, and I'm like, I would never do that. That's fine. He's allowed to, as long as he's telling people this is a gamble play or a rug play, and as long as he's using his own risk capital. If he's not using any of his own money and he's just trying to get referral links, screw that. That's not cool. And it's the same with me. We're trying to hold everyone. So he might cover projects that I'm like, I'm not a believer in that at all. That's fine. If he does an AMA with someone, I know that it's because they have a thorough KYC or they're doxxed. Like, this is awesome. Now we kind of have common language. We have common vision and goals. So I just want to say too, to James, who's watching this video.
He's for sure watching.
I just want to give you a message, man. So real men don't act the way you act. Real men don't steal other people's money. A lot of people put their trust in you. When you take that $2 million and you go buy that new home, you go buy that new sports car, it's going to feel like crap for you because it's dirty money. And you are the definition of a scammer and a scumbag, and that title will be with you forever.
Yep.
There is a way to make this right. I have a wallet address you can send and return funds to. I would ask that you would do that, and we will disseminate that appropriately to investors, or we'll donate it to charity if it makes you feel better. But there's a way to make right this wrong, and we ask you to do that. But at this point, I don't care who your wife is, your kids are, whatever. You're a dirty, disgusting scam artist, and I hope you get exactly what's owed you. Do you have anything else you want to add?
Yeah, I mean, he's clearly like the best example I could think of as a sociopath, and I mean, clearly he knows that he hurt a bunch of people, and obviously has no empathy for them at all. It's just crazy, man. I can't. Yeah, but like John said, man, you got what's coming for you, and karma's a bitch.
Yeah. So with platform comes responsibility. I think this is an effort in all of us. Again, this isn't about Murdoc or me. It's just all of us with the same heart, the same goals, same mind. We still want to gamble and have fun, okay? So if those projects want to be on our channels and not do AMAs and not docs and just, it's going to be underneath the umbrella of this is a freaking gamble play, high risk, and I'll get to say whatever I want. Has anyone ever paid you and told you how to talk on your video? Like, you have to say this, you can't. Yeah. Nobody gonna tell us how to talk about their project. But going forward, we are raising the bar. It's for you. We're done with the rugs. We're sick of this crap. If you are a KYC company and you would like to reach out to myself or Murdoc, go ahead. We would love to learn more about your company. At this point, as far as the thoroughness that I've seen in the KYC department, True Seekers has proven itself credible. When you say no to business, like Alpha, like Stable, whatever other company aren't coming to mind, that to me shows credibility. And when I met with their team, which by the way isn't Lou, isn't Dow King, they don't do them.
People think it's them doing.
No, they're the faces. They're the business guys behind it. They've built the infrastructure. And in fact, I talked with Lou yesterday when I was at the dog park, and I was like, bro, you're building a team, and the team is full of very competent people, and I love that. And I was like, now just shut up and get out of Telegram, because he's passionate. He's like, I'm passionate for security and people being not screwed. He's like, look at what's happening. Alpha, Circulate, how much more do you guys want? Why would you hate what we're doing? And it's like, no, we need companies like Truth Seekers that have the investors' best interest in mind, not the developers. They're not looking to make money off developers. So but I mean, Murdoc said, hey, I'll bring on a KYC company on his channel, and he could talk about what makes their KYCs legit. We're just trying to find the gold standard to make it really, really hard. Make the developers think twice before they pull another one of these crappy rug plays. So, all right, man. Murdoc, the fact that he drove 2 hours, can we please get a like for this video? It shows his heart. It shows everything. The fact
you drove 30 hours to get down here.
Exactly. But we are we're gonna have fun. We're gonna go hiking, and then. But we want you guys to know there will be a document. It might be in this video link. Maybe it'll be in the next video. But we still plan on covering projects. We're not going anywhere. I thought I might just leave YouTube altogether, but I'm like, you know what? It's fine. I'm just going to be overemphasizing risk. He's going to do the same, and we're going to make it harder for companies. So I have a company coming up tomorrow, I believe, to do an AMA. A company is called Fathom, and they're not doxed. You won't see their faces, but they are KYC'd, and guess who they're KYC'd with? Truth Seekers. So I'm happy to bring them on the channel. I'm looking forward to that conversation. Fathom, I think you've already talked about them. So, all right, guys, that's it for this video. Like, subscribe, and we will see you in the next one.